I was hiking here a little bit ago and I ran into a group and one of the guys says, "Hey, I seen your video on YouTube." And I said, "Hey, did you find it helpful?" And he says, "Well, you never finished." And he's right. So I figured, well, I need to come back and film the other half of this loop. So that's what this is right here. Johnny, this is for you. Actually, it's for all you guys because it's kind of not fair to show you all the information about the lower part of the loop but not the upper part. So we're gonna do it. If you missed the first video, you know they always do that thing where they put it up on the side, and I did it one time long ago, and so if it appears like one of these corners that's the link to the first video, so go watch that first because this is the continuation. Let's see, so quick recap of the first video. We started at Winding Stair Trailhead and we did the 2 river crossings and camped on the Viles Branch Trail, and a crazy storm came in and hit us and the river went up to 8 feet. Actually, it ended up going to 8.5 feet, so it was a good thing we decided to get off trails. So we ended the loop at West Blaylock Trailhead and then we did a road walk back to our cars at the Winding Stair. So that's where I am now. I'm just a little bit off of the West Blaylock Trailhead because right now it is Memorial Day weekend and y'all, this place is crazy packed. I'm gonna try and make this video much shorter because y'all already suffered enough through the first one. And so I'm just gonna try and go through and point out the important things and then have myself a nice beautiful hike because it is a gorgeous day. All right, you guys, I'm gonna let you go and I'll see you. Let's see, where's my next check-in gonna be? Oh, my next check-in will probably be when I'm dying up on top of one of those ridges. They're really not that bad though, but you are climbing, so that sucks. Woo! My face all red? Well, I mean, you know, people talk about how the ridges are so bad, but honestly, each one, the climb is only about a 1/4 mile long. As you're hiking up it, just keep telling yourself, there's no super high mountains in Arkansas. There's no super high mountains in Arkansas. Maybe it'll make you feel a little better. All right, I'm gonna press on. I'll see you guys down at the Athens Big Fork Trailhead. All right, I wanted to film at the Athens Big Fork at the north part of it and the Little Missouri Trail Junction, but there's a bunch of people over there. They aren't backpackers and they're screaming kids. So I decided to walk on a little bit further before talking to you guys. There's some signs now. There didn't used to be, so it was kind of a little bit confusing. But to get to the parking area, you have to cross over the creek. And sometimes when it's been raining, that thing can get flowing pretty hard, so just be prepared for it. I mean, it's crossable, it's just flowing hard. So that parking area is called Upper Little Missouri Trailhead. If you walk through the parking area, you'll see a couple trees that have white blazes on them. If you keep following those blazes, you'll cross the road and you'll see a sign that says Upper Athens Big Fork Trailhead, and then there's a little single track path that goes back there. I'm not sure how big that parking area is, but I think I remember somebody saying it's about a 1/2 mile trail to get up there. And I think there's a climb also. There's people coming by. I always feel weird. I'm gonna pause this. Okay, I'm back. Anyway, if you're hiking this thing counterclockwise, when you get to that trail sign, you're going to see where the arrow that kind of looks like just turn to your left really quick. But that's not it. Look at the trees a little bit ahead of you. You'll see a couple blazes. Hike down that way. And then keep an eye to your left because it's going to turn off to your left at that point. And it really kind of looks like a dry wash, like it's a dry creek bed or something, but I promise you it's the trail. So start going up that thing, and the more you go up, you're going to keep looking at it going, are you sure this is the trail? But take a peek up and you'll see that blaze sitting there up on a tree. So it gives you a little bit of good reassurance that yeah, you're still on the trail. Eventually it smooths out back in the trail and everything's good. if you could see this, but down there is this beautiful level flat area. There's a fire ring, and I'd say there's room for 5 tents. So that's a nice campsite. And that's one thing along this portion of the Little Missouri Trail. There is absolutely no shortage of campsites. Here, I'll show you some of them. The trail kind of almost looks like it goes off over there. So something you remember from the first video is about reading blazes, and here we've come up on another one of these. So on this particular one, the upper blaze is on the right, so that means we need to go to our right. Across there! So that's another time, I guess, to bring up, and it was something I had actually edited out of the first video, but trail runners are a great shoe to have on a hike like this. The mesh uppers dry and drain very quickly. So, and I've never had an issue getting blisters doing it this way. So I pretty much, I never change shoes. You can just walk right through in your shoes, and then after you get to bleh. But anyway, on a hike like Eagle Rock Loop, where you're constantly crossing creeks, it just really, shit. It can really take a lot of time out of your hike, constantly changing. So why do you ask, did they have us cross the river feeder right there, go across, walk along this area, and then come back across again? Because it's Eagle Rock Loop. That's why, and they like to make you cross rivers. This right here behind me is a great place to stage when you're getting ready to start hiking the next day. This is less than 1/10 a mile away from the Little Missouri Trailhead, or Little Missouri Falls Trailhead. And you'll see it, you'll get to this bridge right here behind me. And right after you cross the bridge, look to your left and you're gonna see this great campsite. There's a little elevated area up there where I've camped before, and it's nice and flat and level. There's 2 fire rings. There's one there, and a little bit further down there's one. One of the questions a lot of people ask is, are there bears? And yeah, there's bears here. It's the Washitas, but they're black bears and they're skittish. The problem on Eagle Rock Loop is the raccoons. So be aware of that. Make sure you do proper food safety and get your bear bag hung right. At this particular site right here, a bunch of us were camping. Rebecca, she had her hammock slung like 10 feet away from this thing, from this fire ring, and a raccoon came and grabbed her food bag and ran off with it. He got clear down there. We had another time, there was some people we were camped a little bit further down from, and they didn't do a good bear hang. They didn't pay attention that there was another branch below their food hang, and a raccoon got up there and they tore the bottom of the food bag out, so they had themselves a little backcountry piñata and all the food fell out and they took all their food. We were just finishing up that day, so we gave them everything we had left, but the raccoons are horrible. All right, so let's go ahead. I kind of moved over here because all those people are over there. And I always feel awkward when I do these and other people are watching. So, but anyway, we're gonna go across the bridge and check out that parking area. there's a separate parking area for backpackers and overnight people. So I'll show you that, and then we'll show you how to get to the trailhead. All right, so here is the Little Missouri Falls trailhead, and it empties into the parking lot. And this parking lot, they call it the overflow backpacking lot, or they call it the overflow parking lot, but us backpackers, we call it the backpacker parking. So anyway, this is it. You got spots here in the middle where people can park, and then you can park all along the edges of it. Just don't block the trailhead. Okay, come on, let me show you how to get to the trail from here. Walk out of the parking area, and then you're going to go straight down there. There's restrooms, there's places that throw away trash, and their trash bags full. And then you're going to go to that bridge, and you're just going to follow the path like you're going to Little Missouri Falls. After you get to the end of the bridge, there's really no other way to go, but if you're not sure, turn left. It's really loud. I hope you guys can hear me okay. Anyway, this is the actual crossing right here. And then what happens is you cross over to where those guys are standing. And then you have to cross this area over here. And it's got some really slick stuff. Another way to do it is bushwhack down here to where I am. And you've got some like pretty shallow stuff here. You're going to go across that little island thingy. And then kind of hug over more that way where it's shallower, because it's pretty deep right here. Right there it gets shallower, and work your way across. Remember, those rocks are slick, so like make sure you have 3 points of contact at all times, and make sure that the foothold you have is a good one before you lift up that other foot, because those rocks are slick in there. But yeah, then you just get across, and that's where you're at. This is even hard if the river is really high, and I wish I had some footage of what this looks like when it's really high, but I've gotten across this right here when it was at 5 feet. The Langley gauge was at 5 feet. But otherwise, if you bushwhack further down that way, you can get across easier. So, and you have to go a little bit further down. And in other places, you can go a little bit further up that way and then bushwhack over. Either way is good. Once it starts getting over 5 feet, this whole thing is really hard to cross. So it gets pretty violent looking. Like this crossing right here, when it's really bad, I mean, like the water is literally like, these rocks are underwater. These big rocks right here, and it's just flowing like violent over the rocks. It's just crazy looking. This gorgeous group campsite is one that we call the Meadows because of all the meadows over here. It is a gorgeous site. It's about 1.5 miles after the crossing that we just did. Oh, somebody's left this bivvy sitting here. And it's always freaky to find this stuff. Like, is there somebody laying in it? Hello? Okay, no dead body inside. Okay, we are at the next crossing. And right now the river level is probably just a tad below 4 feet. And just with 4 feet right now, this like really deep part where it's like really greenish right there, that was up to my waist. So any higher, you can't cross here. And plus, like I said, all of this stuff here just gets violent looking. And this time I do have footage. It gets crazy. But anyway, if you if it does get like that and you can't get across right here, if you go and bushwhack down a little bit further over to there, you can get across. And then the trail kind of just traverses this this hill. So once you get across, just walk straight up the side and that'll get you there. Kind of like where that guy is. Here's another little bit of a tricky spot. And I'm already crossed this thing, but if you're hiking counterclockwise, which is a little bit harder to figure this thing out, you can see over on that tree, there's a blaze, but this creek here splits. This is like a little island thing in the middle, but don't forget, this trail goes along the river, and the river is over there back that way. So I don't know if you can see, there's a blaze far on that tree over there, and there's that little flat area. That's where your goal is to get to. If you're coming clockwise like we have been, then it's really easy to figure out, because this tree, where is it? This tree and this tree have orange streamer on them. So you want to go between the streamer. That's your goal. Okay, time to hike on. Next stop, Albert Pike Recreation Area. Alright, so we have arrived at Albert Pike Recreation Area to continue with the trail. You'll see like a faded blaze on that tree over there, but if you just walk right along this asphalt, then you get to where the restrooms are. Just on the other side of the asphalt is where the trailhead is to pick the trail back up again, and then you're going to start your climb up Albert Pike. And guess what, y'all? It's your last climb. Once we get up to the top of Albert Pike Peak, there's something I want to show you guys. So I'll see you up there. Okay, up here on top of Albert Pike Peak, and here's what I wanted to show you guys. So as you're hiking up, if you're coming clockwise like we are, you get to this point, and you can see the trail pretty clearly goes up over that way. That's not your trail. See this rocky mess that kind of doesn't look like... What? I almost fell over. This rocky mess that just kind of doesn't look like much of anything. That's actually your trail. So I mean, it'd be so helpful if there was a blaze on that tree up there, that tree over there. I went and did a thing. Haha. So those trees now are blazed. Once you come down from whatever that is up there, Albert Pike Peak. Oh God, I'm brain dead. Anyway, after you come down from Albert Pike Peak, you're gonna get to a road crossing, and there's a blaze on the other side of the road, and it's easy to spot. So once you get down in there, it's a really pretty area, but it does have a lot of tree falls. Some of them are step overs, some of them there's little social trails that walk around, some of them you can go under, and others you just gotta kind of figure out your own way around. But I mean, you can get over all of them. I mean, I'm 5 foot tall and I got over, so. All right, guys, we're right back to where we started on the very first video at the Winding Stair Trailhead. It's just been great to meet a bunch of people on the trail who have seen the first video and found it helpful, so I hope you guys found this video helpful too. So if you did find it helpful, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and I'd love it if you guys subscribe because I got some pretty cool stuff coming up. My buddy Todd and I are gonna go try to find an airplane wreck and show you guys that. It's gonna be a kind of heavy experience because everybody on the aircraft did die. But it'll still be pretty cool to see. And also on April of next year, I am going to attempt to through hike the Washita Trail again. So that one's a 223 mile trail, and this time I have a much better plan. So hopefully it'll be a much better experience and it'll go a whole lot smoother, and I won't rip a bunch of skin off my heel again. Anyway, you guys, thank you for sticking with me on this, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Happy trails.